Why are we on a boat? Well, you're not. It turns out you're actually not. Uh,
I should try and push to talk if I'm going to be eating tortilla chips. Hold on.
It's probably a good idea.
Thank you.
all right, I need to turn down the music in the game here.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear
No.
you now.
Wow. The power of technology.
Wow, amazing.
Wow.
So, first of all, welcome back to the Crescent Moon. We
Hello.
have traded Victor for a Gaius because we can never have a full session apparently anymore.
Why would we ever have everyone here at once?
I know, right? It's crazy.
We're currently looking for a receipt to get Victor back, but until
Because
then,
we play on Friday nights, and Friday nights are busy often.
My hair
That's
is
true.
in too weird of places. So, hat comes on. Here comes the recap.
Yeah, Kenny beats.
All right. So, well, guys, you've missed quite a bit. So I'm gonna go back as far as I can. So within the last few weeks, you were on a boat. You were no longer on a boat. So that's
Hey.
part number one. Part two, you went into the home of Victor Tori.
Mhm.
It was a very nice
Surprise.
home. You decided
Did someone
to
try
stay
to steal
asleep,
shit?
but the other two had to have a really fun conversation with Jet after he hid in the rafters and eavesdropped on them. Because that's the thing that
all
Jet likes
normal
to do.
people
That's something that he would do.
I really love you. I'm going to move your webcam, so don't worry about the camera. But right now it looks great because you're just like ahead.
You look so small.
But you're
I'm
fine.
sorry.
I'm
You're
gonna
small,
fix
boy.
you. Don't worry about it. Gotcha. You're good. I've got
I'll
you,
just
man.
sit upright and have
I got you, bitch.
Um,
I'm gonna
So-
get you.
later on, they tried to go into town. And this is
Allegedly.
where we'll come to you guys, as you guys decided to go to the library in the University of Mail in Delara. You guys are in Delara. You are, and so we'll get back to the rest of their exploits soon enough. But guys, you have kind of brought your way into this library. It's a little different for you. You know, the last time you remember this library, it was bigger. But the kind of drapes and like hammering tells you that this must be back when they were first putting that second to last expansion in.
Oh, okay.
However, you're kind of immediately made aware of the much of the library is off limits unless you have unless you're a student or a teacher of the university.
So it's time to have like a big escapade to steal the keys, right?
Well, you were alone, so you kind of went off. You kind of
Time
decided like I'm gonna see what's up. I'm gonna see what's up in Delara here nowadays. So you kind of went to maybe see if you could look for like current events, something like that. You found a couple books, kind of just more like giving you a lay of the land of like around where the kind of where the time period is. But since it was kind of made vacant in your father's book, you're not really getting you're getting a decent amount of new information. Kind of just like
Okay.
for example, you're getting a little more information about who the king currently is. But that part of the storyline, his background, more of. It's just kind of more of the recent stuff.
Okay.
Which doesn't seem to be as much as you've heard about in your time over in Thades and Thunderbane. So you can kind of tell maybe there's a little questionable writing here in this land, and the
Perhaps
information
it was
about their king, or at least the way it's spoken.
I can't believe the king would want to keep things out of print that he deems.
It's a little more that like it's written in a way that makes it seem much more impressive than maybe it is.
Ah, okay.
Whereas in Thunderbane, the books make it seem like he's a little more of a tyrant.
Gotcha.
There's clearly some perspective going on here.
And then Germany in the history books went on a very interesting
Who's to say
campaign.
which side is what? There, my friend Gaius.
Wow.
My friend Gaius.
Every voice matters.
Bold.
But so yeah, you started to get a little bit of
Pretty
information. As you kind of inebly turned to look just to see if what they were doing, you kind of presumed they were gonna get into some type of trouble. The three of them seem to be gone. They seem to kind of started to leave. So you're kind of on your own right now.
Okay.
Get fucked.
And how guarded and shit is this secret section of books?
So
You might be muted, by the way.
the hallways moving into
I
the
don't
other
believe I
areas. The hallways moving into the other areas generally have like at least someone guarding it. I would say it's a push to say they're a guard, but somebody is guarding the walkways.
Gotcha. I would like to go talk to one of the guards and ask him, so what kind of books are back there?
It's kind of a younger guy. Oh, you're probably number of visitors coming in recently. Well, you mainly. I mean, obviously, there's a bunch of different parts. A lot of the, I guess, a lot of the foreign reading is back there. Some of the older texts of kind of different stories. A lot of the fiction is back there.
Okay. Wild idea. What if you just let me back there? It's just fiction. What could it hurt anyone? At least the fiction side.
The books aren't what's going to hurt you. It's the potential of a scaffolding, a tool, something falling on your head and either hurting or killing you, and then us getting sued.
Well,
that's the real problem here.
I am an experienced adventurer, however. I've fought many a skeleton, their bones and femurs, similar to hammers.
Unfortunately, as much as I have heard this already, lawsuits, man. Doesn't matter.
What if I know a lawyer? What if I am a lawyer?
Then I have even further reason to not let you back here, whether I believe you or not.
What if... You know what? I'll come back. I would like to... Well, what else could I explore down here in the library? Is there anything else that would pique my interest?
I mean, there is another part of it's like other fiction sections. This tends to be more of the, I guess you could say, like the common reading nonfiction, well, there is nonfiction, but then there is the fiction, and this has more of the common reading fiction. So the type of fiction is just like storytelling, but is generally in common, because like this library has like Elvish, lore books or stories and whatever, or Dwarvish. And, like they have other, foreign reading. This has more of the common, like fiction section, so that you have, obviously, like they put, and you can kind of tell some of this has been pushed over on like makeshift shelves, but obviously you kind of suffice just that it's to give better examples, or not examples, give more options to the more general populace of the city that would actually come in here.
Gotcha. Would there be anything about that one king guy that they wouldn't fail to mention, or is it the same king you're talking about? The dude we met, the vampire guy in the valley.
You can start to look around if you want to see if you can maybe get a ping of something. Sure, you can make an investigation roll.
That'd be good.
I checked for the same thing.
That's right, you did.
$16.
Yeah, you kind of get into the belief. It seems to at least the general map seems to ping the idea that the book is off in one of the. It's on this floor, but it is in the
Forbidden section.
draped section. Yeah.
I want to go back up to that same guard. Put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Look, buddy, we're both young. You know, we take risks, but these are what lead us to become valuable members of society sometime down the line.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Even though we are right now, you know, but to become big, influential, famous adventurers, you know, you have to take a risk now and then. Now, do you want to go down in history as the man who let this kingdom fall to ruins because you didn't let me go look at that book?"
I don't even know what book you're trying to look for, but I'd rather not go down as the guy who got the entire school shut down due to a lawsuit.
That is some small-time thinking, my friend. I think you're capable of much bigger things.
All right, make a persuasion roll.
I believe in you.
17.
The way the rolls go. All right, you know what? I'm almost done with my shift. When my relief comes in about 5 minutes, come with me, and I will take you to the section you want.
That's my boy. I knew I could count on you. Thank you so much, pal. Would you know where I should look for a book about this certain vampire emperor? You know, just so we can make it a little easier.
You're looking for the fiction section?
Sure. Anything, you know. Just
Well,
let me back there, actually.
Well, as I say, I don't know. I don't necessarily know too many stories about vampire emperors.
Well, you know, as long as we can get back there, I'm sure I can look around. That'll be fine.
Well, what? Okay.
I don't remember his name, so I can't say specifically.
Well, it's not even that. You just didn't even tell him what
yeah.
book you're looking for.
Well, do I know the name of the book that I'm looking for? Or am I
No, but you know the country he's from.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
Luna.
The Valley of Luna. I remembered Moons, but I was going to say something wrong.
Castle Moonblade is his home.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. It just sparked in my head. I'm looking for fiction, maybe from the country of Luna.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, I don't know if you're gonna find stuff on vampire lords, but I'm sure they've got plenty of stories on that side of the country, or
Yes.
over there. Thades has got some weird countries.
You know, I'd agree with that. There's some weird people happening there.
All right. Well,
There's just one guy with a cape we met, and I don't even want to talk.
give me a few minutes,
Played a weird
and I'll get you back there. I'll clear your stupid.
I'll give him a gold piece as like a thank you. As a
I'd rather you
bribe.
keep that. It's gonna look like I got bribed.
There you go. That's a lawsuit right there. You know, I like the way you think. You should go into law, honestly. You're avoiding some lawsuits, something to be treasured.
You know, I've got certain stories about that right now. I'm not willing. That's not something I want to talk about right now. As we will cut So, for at least Bennett's player knowledge, we cut to. So within the time that some of his adventure was happening here, the group had gone into the alleyways. They had met a kobold named Tix, who was running from a guard who was trying to find him because he supposedly stole something from this old man. However, Tix claimed that this old man had stole something from him and his sister. That it was this medallion. So the party decided to help him out, despite that he seems to spontaneously disappear for seemingly no reason. And as they learned in the shop of the smithy, has a good amount of money. And so then they inevitably went to their Victor was able to quietly sneak to the old man's room and take the other half of the coin. They were able to make it back, and they started heading towards the alchemist shop, and where the standoff between whether or not Victor would give Tix back his medallion or his half of the medallion came into question, and there was a lot of and where the party then would ask the alchemist what essentially her partial life story. They then bought some potions and began to head out, as Tix did inevitably get the rest of his medallion back, where Kinder did detect some magic and a little bit of illusion magic within the center, but it seemed very dull, like a very dull reading.
And now it's going to be your familiar.
I established last time. I really don't think I need a familiar right now.
It's
Especially
fine.
because
Too bad.
it doesn't
He's
help
a
the fact
sentient-
that this kobold seems to have a friend that is a pigeon.
The pigeon can be your familiar.
No, the,
If
pigeon,
fine.
the pigeon is
I
mine.
feel like the pigeon more belongs to him. I think it'd be really awkward if I made a familiar out of somebody else's pet or companion.
Oh, we'll make
Yeah,
Tix your fami-
the dragon taught me a ritual to summon him.
Well, if you make Tix your
That's a lot
familiar,
of
you
sense
automatically
right
get the
there.
pigeon as familiar. See, it's like a pyramid.
I don't know.
You're
I
at
don't
the
want to
top.
be anyone's familiar.
That's fair. All right. Yeah, I guess you have a say in this. Oh, I'm suddenly feeling under the weather.
Oh man, I do.
Yeah.
Wow, this is what freedom is like. It's uncomfortable.
Is that something you're not used to?
No. I just like getting told what to do.
You're gonna love
Is
Gaius.
he
You
being
should meet up with him.
sarcastic with me? I can't tell.
Huh?
Is he being sarcastic with me? I can't tell.
You can try to insight check, I guess.
Like,
Go
Kinder
for it.
can't tell right now. Let me see about that.
You can see how your intuition would be.
Yeah!
I hope that
Best
you-
way to start a game
I
is
hope that's
rolling
for-
a natural one. Okay,
Yay!
let's roll that percentage die.
Woohoo! I was gonna say, I hope that yes is for a natural one. And it was.
Look at that.
Ooh, 86.
Oh.
Damn, bro.
Damn, boy. Damn.
Whoa, Ken!
Huh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Huh.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
So, what do you guys plan to do?
Well, we should probably meet up with the guys, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should kind of figure out where we're gonna go from here. I mean, we had talked about possibly helping, you know, Tix's sister, but we gotta figure out a lead. You know, we have to have somewhere to start, and we already had other work that we needed to do as well.
We should probably get to the other work. If nothing else, that might send us in the right direction in terms of.
Kinder, your which arm do you have the glove on?
I don't know.
It's gonna be the left.
Cool. Your
hand.
right arm falls off from the shoulder.
Right arm falls off.
You all just see it. You feel no pain.
Ah! Cool starts screaming.
Yeah, I was
pointing
gonna say
and
you
shooting.
feel. Tix is just like, awesome.
We should really figure out a plan. We should probably head back to the
Ah! Kinder? Please tell me this is one of your magic tricks.
I didn't learn that.
Please tell me you just have bad comedic timing.
I never read any books about dismemberment. Maybe Gaius, we should really find Gaius right now.
We should. Do you want to pick it? Do you want me to pick it up?
doesn't hurt, and that scares me more.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay.
Do I have your consent to pick it up?
Don't hit me with it.
I won't. I have standards too. I pick up the arm.
Cool.
It's good to hear.
It turns to dust and fades away. You inhale part of it, but you feel some of your curse to go away.
What?
This downer party nonsense.
Hey, remember that minus you had?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone now.
What? I inhaled Kinder and now I'm free
Yep.
from my curse.
Yes. Yes, you did.
Sounds like a metaphor for our current corporate power grabbing.
This is great so far.
Right. Kinder. First off, I want to say I'm
Yeah?
sorry.
Did you just eat me?
No,
This is a lot
I-
to take in.
it is. I just inhaled you and I feel better.
It wasn't all of it, to be fair. Just with some of the dust.
I'm gonna take my left.
There's
I'm
a
gonna
lot
take
of
the glove.
there's a lot of ashes left over.
I'm gonna take the. I can't. I was literally miming. I'm gonna take the glove off my left hand and then realize halfway through. Oh,
Wait.
I don't have a right hand. So I'm gonna bite off. I'm gonna take my teeth and like pull the glove off of my left arm.
It's a lot of
just to
work
make
because
sure
you got a lot of
it's
like, because it's a long glove, so you got a
Yeah.
lot to like try to wiggle around.
No, don't worry. I know what this is like. I'm very familiar. Pull it off.
Your legs together, like pull it off, the rest off that way.
Yeah. Get a little friction going. Yeah, I just want to make sure that like my left arm is still there, like it still exists, and isn't gonna
Well, it
like
was.
blow away in the dust.
Yeah, it's normal.
Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna attempt to put the glove back on because I don't want this out in public.
All right, it's cool. So do you again? I'm assuming you would probably phantom try to use your right arm to get it right.
Probably.
Yeah, so
'cause
you, like,
the
phantom go?
lens syndrome and all
You
that.
feel
It too,
something
don't you?
really like you kind of feel like what feels like a hand, but it feels really small up by your shoulder.
Oh. Okay.
You have a sleeve. Your sleeve is over it, so it's really hard to see. You can't really
Well,
see
I'm
anything.
gonna pull it back to look at what is
All right.
clearly.
As he pulls back his sleeves, you see you see a scale-based version of Deadpool's hand when it gets
the baby hand. Yeah.
except it's his arm. It's like not even a baby. It's like
How
nub,
fast is it?
just little nub, but you can see like the hand.
How fast is it growing out?
Not it doesn't look like it's moving at all.
All right, I'm gonna cover it back up with the rope.
Yeah, it just
We need to find
the
Gaius
sleeve just, like, falls.
right now. For some reason, I just have this weird feeling that it's his fault. I think we need to find him right away.
Come on, dude. You just hear that echoing through the city.
Come on.
Yeah. Do you need me to carry you? Are you good?
I still have legs. That I didn't stop having legs. It was just the arm.
But like mentally, are you fine?
No.
no, absolutely not.
So hey, let's go find Gaius.
Let's go find Gaius. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Tix.
Guys, So a few minutes had passed, and inevitably the guard goes, all right. You see another guy. You just see kind of another guy. He's wearing pretty light armor. Just kind of. He's not really like armed per se. At least doesn't seem to be. So, but he's just like, all right. Hey, Steve. Cool. All right. So, I gotta take this student back with me into the section. He wanted me to go with him just for, I guess he's a little nervous about it. So, I just kind of waited for you to get here. But I'm gonna take him back with me, and then, but you'll be good to go. Nothing's been too weird. Cool. All right. As the guard you had been talking to kind of gestures you onward as you go behind the curtain. Above you see a bit of wooden platforms that are pretty obviously like not like super, it's not like they're clearly well put into the stone of the walls and whatnot. Like they're clearly very, put just for temporary use. So you can kind of see through the tops a bit. You can hear the footsteps of the workers very easily as you walk through. All right, so you're looking for the section with Luna.
Sure am.
Am I guessing you're probably then really going to want some non-fiction stuff from over there?
Oh, yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Let's see. So you got stuff on the whole. Might actually be. You got stuff on the whole country. You kind of in terms of just like what we have for country history is here. We don't have a big shelf. You can kind of see like he's looking at like 3 shelves of stuff. He's like, here's kind of everything. Here's kind of stuff on the history of in general. It's like 4 books there. We've got like let's see. We've got a couple in terms of we got one on the we have the King's biography here. That one's pretty old though. I don't know how relevant that one will be. And then
Read everything.
Not much, just kind of some geographical books. More about the country as a whole as well.
Okay. Could I start with just like a general history one, leaf through it, looking for like a castle or vampires or anything like that?
Sure, yeah. Make me an investigation roll, I guess, looking through these. Make it simple here.
23.
23, all right. So you kind of are quickly able to filter through a lot of these books, trying to kind of get what information you can on either Castle Moonblade or like the Emperor and whatnot. You start to stumble in more. What you actually discover into is one of the pages you notice is actually. So you start to notice like one page is much thicker than the rest of them are.
Oh. Could I look at the one page?
You feel like you may have to kind of tear into it, and just kind of from your. Actually, wait. Let me examine something here for a moment. Dang it! I've closed the page I needed to have open.
Darn.
Hold on 1 second. Let me reload these pages up. Let's see. So your passive wisdom 13. So,
Quite wise for my years.
So do you do it now?
Well, you said I need to like tear into that.
Yeah, it looks like you'll probably have to like create some type of slit down the top, like the page one way. Like it does look like there might be a couple places for you to like try to like pry
Do I have, like, a
into and
knife?
start to like.
Do I have like a little pocket knife? I do have a dagger.
Yeah.
I would like to use that to like.
Cool. You pull out the dagger and the dude is kind of like, "What are you doing there, buddy?"
Hey, bud. I was like, just hold on, and then.
No, it's not just a hold on here. All right, I'm risking a lot of stuff here being with you, man. All right, and if I gotta take you down, I will.
Okay, that's fair, but there's something in this page. I just need to like cut it open a little bit. Figuring this would make it.
I mean,
easier.
it's not your property though, my guy.
Well, well,
Solid persuasion skills coming
But-
from guy.
but, what if? Hold on, I'm thinking about doing something.
Think.
Okay. Think. Why would you think that this page is sealed in the first place? Like, aren't you kind of curious though? Like, does anyone even care about
So
Luna?
what do you mean it's sealed or there's something in it? Like are the
Look
pages
how
just stuck together?
Yeah. Like, look how it's thick. I don't know. Well, would anyone even notice if I just, like, you know, put a
Here.
dagger to this page?
Here, give me it.
You're what?
Give me it. And let me see the page.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I see what you mean. Yeah, it looks like these pages are stuck together. Okay, here. I'll do it. So at least I work here. And if I do
Okay.
something, it's worse than if I let you do something.
Fair. Okay. That's fair.
He puts out a little knife. Like he has just a little tiny knife out of his belt. And yeah, he just kind of... Yeah, he's able just to kind of... And
Yeah.
a like kind of flattened up couple sheets of paper come out.
I picked them up.
They look like maps.
Wow.
There's two. There is one of them is labeled, one is not. The labeled one has Castle Moonblade 1F,
Oh.
and it looks like it is like a floor plan. From the title, you come to figure it is likely the floor plan of the first floor of Castle Moonblade. Albeit not an incredibly, like, you see what the floor layout is, but obviously it's not overly detailed, but there are markings made on it that seem to kind of denote some things. Unfortunately, you cannot read them.
I'm gonna take these. So, you know.
Oh yeah, and then the other one looks like a map of the continent of Thades. But it has these like little archways drawn in it, and then a lot of arrows pointing to other parts, and then there's one arrow that goes off to the left.
Ooh.
So essentially west on the map.
Okay.
But it continues to go off. But yeah, like each little archway thing seems to go to another.
Okay. Wow, these are some really interesting maps. I'm gonna take these. So
Well,
I put them
I
in
guess
my
they just
bag.
look like notes.
Yeah.
All right.
You know.
Is there anything else then? He kind of hints the book towards you.
Did any other books pique my interest when I was searching around? Or is it the
That's I guess up to you. There like other books were just kind of like there's like a really old
Oh, I'll
biography
open
book
one
of
of the.
the emperor. It seems very old.
Yeah, I'll leaf through that one first, and then I have another idea.
So what does then immediately pick your brain is that despite that he said this is a biography of an old emperor, it still says it still says it still has tales of the Emperor Vladimir, which does somewhat tick you off a little bit. Of wait a minute, can't be that old.
Wait a minute.
Either it can't be that old, or there are some problems here.
I'd jot that down in one of my notes. Is there anything else interesting in that book?
I mean, if you would have to obviously start reading it a lot more thoroughly. It's mostly all written. These look like a lot of tales. Whether or not you could tell if they're tall tales or not is up for the grab. But up until you start reading it more in depthly, you're not going to get too much information. It's how much information you get is all you're going to get on whatever quick glances. So I mean, like if you try to like just look through it and like read certain parts, you read phrases like, and then he rode his horse, which took him to the next to the lands of blah 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 blah, and like, or then you'll flip another page, and it was just like, the maps were heavy; they seemed to weigh down on his conscience. The battles have clearly not gone past him. So it's like you're really grasping at straws in terms of just trying to find random parts of the book.
Random parts, yeah. Okay. I'll ask my friend. Could I rent this out from the library, or is just that would probably just cause problems, huh?
Well, I guess I didn't even have. I guess I really even fully hadn't asked you yet. I'm assuming you don't have a card.
Where's your library card? Kid?
No, but
Well,
Mr. Dewey Decimal and I, we actually went to university together. So
I'm gonna stop you right there. You're not the first person to try this type of line on me today, and I really don't need to hear it again. I'm just gonna tell you this, man. Like, just leave it here. If anything, because as I say, you're not gonna be able to take it out of here without the university card. And now that I'll let you back here, they're gonna think you have one. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Not only am I gonna get in trouble, but then you're gonna get in trouble. So
I'll slip it back into the thing.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Okay, then the other idea I had is you said there's like geographical books. I would like to compare that to the maps that I just read.
Well, so the map is of the whole continent of Thades, whereas the other map, the geographical books, have certain sections of Moonblade. These also seem to be relatively old, as the pages are very aged.
Is there any sort of because there's like arches and stuff drawn onto the map of Thades. Is there anything that I can see? Do any of those like land in?
Yeah, so you try. I guess are you trying to look for like a page that mentions something like some type of great archway or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you try flipping through because there's obviously plenty of these pages. It being a very geographical based book has a lot of drawings and stuff in it. It might as well be a picture book. So like as you try flipping through, you can't seem to see anything that mentions any of these.
How curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious indeed. Okay. I will keep a mental note of that. I don't think I have any other ideas for books to search, unless I can see anything about like talking about vampires or castles, like on the spine or whatever, or like
No, nothing in
vampires
this
and
section at
castles in
least.
Luna. Tales of vampires and castles that could
The
be useful for
nonfiction.
adventurers. Yeah, in the nonfiction section.
I mean, inherently, potentially, yeah, but
Yeah.
in terms of like guidebooks for adventuring and stuff like that, so like a lot of the tales about like creatures don't actually get put into like these types of nonfiction sections. They're kind of put into their own like adventurers guidebooks type areas, which is a little more of a ways, or at least it's not right here.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of let you know it's a little bit of a ways away.
Well, I guess while we're here, if we could look.
He's kind of giving you the
Yeah, let's see. Unless he's giving me
no,
the,
he's
like,
kind.
let's get
He
the
doesn't
fuck
have
outta
one,
here.
but he's effectively giving you like the. If he had one, he'd be giving you the like looking at his watch move.
Ah, gotcha.
Like he's clearly kind of looking around, kind of like.
I snapshot the book and said, I think I've gotten, what I came for. What's your name, actually, by the way? I never asked.
It is Bertrand.
Bertrand. You're very helpful and kind, Bertrand. You've been you've assisted our troop greatly today.
It'll be more assisting as long as I can get you out of here. Fine.
Okay, let's go.
All right, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh. Don't I have a thing that I can cast?
I don't know. It has to be as a reaction.
Damn. Oh no.
No.
That's a 6.
You get the big bonk. Guys, here, hang on 1 second. All right, refresh your page. I have given you a long rest.
Oh, okay.
You clearly haven't been here in the time that you've been able to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, no. Well, actually.
Oh, he said actually.
Yep. Never mind. Yep. Okay, I was correct. It will stand. Everything will currently stand. Yeah, you get the big bonk. So you take. Cool. You take 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh God.
As a mallet will fall in your head.
I turn around to Bertrand and say, "My lawyers will be speaking to you about this." Just kidding. Let's keep going.
This is what I get. Hey guys, make a wisdom save.
Oh no.
Oh God. That is a wisdom, is it?
Yes. Wisdom.
18.
You get the feeling that something was maybe trying to
It's trying to
modify your
give me the
memories
big
slightly.
bug. Oh, it's gonna modify my memories, eh? Can I notice what that is?
Oh.
Not really. You just kind of know. You get the feeling that your brain was trying to be messed with. Like it's like the ear. It's kind of like if whenever you get like a small bout of like either lightheadedness or you kind of like or after like a yawn, you're kind of just like, huh.
I look
It's
around.
kind of like that.
I look around and see if I can see anyone who seems like they would know any magic.
Hard to tell. Mainly just looks like it's you and Bertrand.
I look at Bertrand and say, "Did you feel that?"
Feel what? I'm more concerned about I'm a little more concerned. Sorry, I'm more feeling the anxiety of a potential lawsuit out of my responsibility. So no, I did not feel anything outside of regret.
Okay, let's get out of here.
All right. All right. So yeah, you started to get let out. I mean, after the hammer will drop, you will hear from like the top, like, "Oh, sorry."
You better.
But yeah, as you leave, the Steve will kind of be like, I heard that. You guys all right?
Oh, Chip is a chipper.
All right. Well, I'll see you later, Bert.
Yeah, goodbye, Bert. I'm still like kind of freaked out by something trying to mess with my memories.
He kind of turns around. Yeah, I'll see you again later. Or not.
Or not.
And coming as you kind of head out into more of the main part of the library, which kind of seeps into what is just now left open large doorways. You see a slightly restless companion group of yours enter, with seemingly plus a tiny kobold creature. As the two of you and
hello?
Tix get into the library.
Guys, don't freak out.
You don't see
starting to freak
Kinder's
out,
right
man.
hand.
Freaking out. It's coming soon, if it isn't already. It's coming to theaters August 8th.
Well, don't. So I'm about to tell you it's a bit sensitive.
Oh, it's my arm, okay? Kinder like outbursts.
Wait for.
What arm? What happened? Why?
So I put a hand on Gaius' shoulder. I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, but that's not important. I inhaled Kinder.
You what? You what?
After man. After man.
I
Breathe them
inhaled
in.
Kinder's
Breathe them right in.
detached arm. Also, Kinder lost his right arm.
Yeah, I think that part should have been said
I,
first.
I noticed that part. Why? What? Why?
Well, you couldn't see it. You didn't really know what was up.
Oh, I
We were
thought it
kind
was
of-
just like kind of gone.
We were kind of hoping you would know, being the residential wizard and all. We were together, and then I had my right arm, and then suddenly it was on the ground, and then Ku picked it up, and then
What?
it kind of disappeared into dust, and then he breathed in the dust, and
Now I'm freaking out, man.
What?
Also, this is Tix. He's a nice guy.
Hi, I'm
You know what?
Tix.
There's so much going on here. I don't know if I can handle this. Do you guys want to get a drink?
This is Swill.
I'll look at
pigeon-
your arm.
The pigeon
There.
coos.
Alcohol's good.
yeah,
We
I'm
should
game.
give it to everybody.
Okay,
Yes, let's
I'll
go.
look
Let's go
at
give
your
alcohol
arm
to kids.
Tavern. We can shut up whatever this guy is too. Why are you weird, Swill? I'm gonna call you Swill from now on.
No, I'm Tix. Swill's the bird.
Oh,
He has a pigeon on his head.
okay.
He's a kobold, but he has a pigeon on his head.
You know,
Ale.
what Kobold does.
Ale. Ale.
Let's go get some mail.
Slide transition.
Yes.
Star White.
Star Wave, yeah.
Yeah. We're all just sitting there around the table, just.
Okay,
And that's how I lost my arm.
Kinder, let me look at your arm. Can I look at his arm and see if I notice
Okay.
any weird
So,
things?
well, if you try to
Yeah.
like just grab
or
at it
lack
first,
thereof.
yeah, I was gonna say if you try grabbing at it first, you'll obviously like just feel the sleeve come up.
Yeah, I would like to look at his arm or lack thereof.
Yes,
Like,
I'll take the robe off to reveal the smaller arm that's now there.
Can I, like,
Are you guys doing this
make
in the
an
library, or have you
arcana
stepped outside at this point?
No, we are in a place.
We're going to an alcohol place with the liquor
But are you trying to do this examining now, or would you get there?
when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you try to kind of hurry down to the closest tavern you can find. Turns out they apparently don't build the taverns right next to the school.
damn it.
There should be one in the school. Where's
Exactly.
the frat parties? Where are the frat parties gonna happen?
They will
It's
get
almost
so
like
much
they're
business.
focusing on your education.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are.
That's stupid. Everybody knows you need alcohol to study.
This is why union busting had a negative effect on this city. Mine and I will.
Well, what's funny is the
Welcome
two
to
the
my
two
TED
of you. I mean, inherently the three of you, including Victor. You all notice that as guys kind of try to rush you towards finding a tavern, he seems to kind of know his way around the place relatively well. Like he's kind of just like, all right, just come this way. All right, this way. Come on. All right. Let's. I can't deal with this. It's just like constantly, quickly guiding you through everything.
Wow, guys, you sure do know your way around this place.
Yeah, I'll say you're almost on par with Victor. If Victor wouldn't say otherwise.
I just it inherently comes to me. Colleges, maybe
College
sometimes.
towns.
I don't know.
The like.
They're all the same.
They all got the same layout.
Yeah. Anyway, this way.
Yeah, it's you will inevitably get up towards the closest one, which is the Shield Inn and Tavern.
The what?
Shield Inn and Tavern.
What?
It's
The
the
shield
Shield Inn and Tavern.
The Shield, Coffee, and Bistro.
Oh, there's a comma in there.
Yeah,
Well, it's
he's pausing.
it's
because
called-
there's a comma.
Yeah, it's called the Shield. Subtitle: Inn and Tavern.
Bed and breakfast.
Oh, so the shield. Got it. So we see three guys standing there in like
Brooke Shield.
black vests.
Then
One guy
No.
keeps rubbing his arm and says,
There's a guy with an eye patch. He's dark
"This is
skinned.
my."
No. You kind of go in there. It's getting a little later in the. It's getting a little later in the afternoon, because it's kind of closer to the winter period. Yeah, it's still more. Actually, it's a little more winter on this side of the world still. So yeah, you guys. It's kind of wintry and kind of cold, cooler. Days are short. They do feel slightly longer here than they did back in Fades, but not by much. As you kind of come in, as you kind of just walk in a hurry, as the kind of shorter lad at the door kind of starts to be like, "Howdy!" Just kind of blast past him.
Go up to the bartender. Do you have any booths, private booths that we can rent out?
That would be very cool.
Booths.
Yes.
Okay, misheard you. My bad.
I heard boots.
Yeah.
Also,
we
what says
do got
boot
we
you
do
are?
got the boot glasses. If you want to try that, that's a fun challenge. It's a free drink if you finish it.
I'm actually very intrigued. That's for later, though. Right now, I'm freaking out. The private booth.
Yeah, looks like we got one over in the corner there.
How much?
Very cool.
I mean, it doesn't cost you nothing until you buy something.
Cool. Guys, over there. I'm just
Okay.
gonna like power walk over there like a
People
freaked
kind
out
of
mom.
stare at you a bit for just being a little weirdly hurried going into this booth.
I inhaled the guy today. I'm being very. I feel like my reaction
I
is
don't
very.
blame you. These
It's
people,
his
however,
first
don't
time,
know.
Okay, he's a little nervous.
Yes.
I don't blame you. It's just these people that don't know.
It's the masses that are ignorant.
Yes. You get into a pretty roomy quarter booth as the kobold kind of sits at the end. You just kind of
Just happy to be there.
Make sure he gets his play mat with the crayon so that he can draw.
Despite that, like, some kobolds can be relatively, like, for small creatures, obviously, like, you know, they can be about the size of halfling sometimes, right? He seems to be pretty on the short end of things.
Hmm.
So yeah, he is, you just kind of see, like, what are we getting?
Kinder, let me look at my. Don't look at the arm.
Has the slightly jilted,
The guy is.
yeah. As you start,
Take
so as
my
you
hand
start
off.
to, as you start to pull the stuff off, the halfling boy kind of starts to walk up.
Oh, he's trying to take our order.
No,
Okay.
he went. No, he started to walk
No,
up.
wait.
Kind of sees like the disrobing slash, kind of going on. He's just kind of like,
I just like went, ale everywhere, please. That's all we need.
oh, okay. You just kind of see him write something down. And it's just kind of like, okay.
4, please.
As he at that point he's kind of gone.
Okay.
As so now you see you kind of are able to see Kinder's arm, and then his not very much of an arm, as you see this little kind of nubby, scaly, little nubby hand kind of coming out of his shoulder.
Okay.
Can I make it a check of any kind, Arcana, or
If you want to make medicine or arcana, go ahead, I guess.
I would prefer? Oh, they're both good. I'll do. That's a 15.
Which one was it? Which
Medicine.
medicine? Okay. So what this actually kind of reminds you of, kind of having been around, super normal scientific things.
Yeah.
Where you every now and then had to kind of do a little bit of first aid and kind of whatnot on some folk. So you guys kind of, or so you kind of recall this from the lizard folk that were kind of within some of your realms, and what you kind of notice is
Like a kobold?
no, I mean the actual, like, there's the lizard folk
Oh,
race,
okay.
and there are members that would partake in the trials that you were assisting with at the time, and this recalls you remind that the lizard folk that would go through this trial, they would seem to consistently, like it almost, or like it almost seems like, it reminds you when, like, something would happen to them and they lost like a limb, and then it would slowly regrow. It reminds you of that, but obviously Kinder doesn't look like a lizard folk.
But it does have scales and stuff too, so
It is scaly, but has Gaius actually been able to see your right arm or your left arm?
I was attempting to put the other glove back on back when we first discovered this, so I would assume that the glove is on at this point.
No, but I just meant like, has he seen it? Do you recall if he's seen it just at any point yet?
It's a good question.
Because I believe the only time Ku
He was
saw
still
it was when
making a
you showed him
concentrated
in Jet's house.
Yeah, I was still
Mhm.
making a concerted effort to kind of hide it from most people.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to
So
remember if you showed it
he
to
may not have
anybody at
seen
any
it in
other
full
time.
yet. Yeah.
So,
Can I see your right arm in full?
There was there was
Not
a
currently,
time in
no.
combat that I did take off the glove in full. But I don't know if that would really count in that situation, because you would have been looking at me during that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in a way I would say we would drum it up to his passive perception,
Mm-hmm.
if that's something he would see. And based on his passive perception, yes, he would have very much noticed that.
Okay.
So what is the right arm?
So you kind of are aware that he also has like a kind of scaly right arm as well,
Left arm.
or left arm. Now it's the right arm too.
Goody.
Just the right arm is just a nubby,
Uh,
scaly right arm at the
Now I
moment.
gotta get 2 gloves. Who does that?
uh,
Yeah, who wears 2 gloves? That seems excessive.
uh. Two gloves.
But yeah, so this seems to reflect the growth behavior that was exhibiting on the lizard folk. But granted, like I said, like outside of the arm or arms now, he at least obviously looks very elvish. Well, half elvish.
What do you
Wow.
think, guys? What's going on?
A lot. 1 or 2 things is going on. I've seen something like this before in the.
He's a reptilian.
He's a reptoid.
Are you?
Have you been trying to partake in any governmental
He's a
overthrows
reptile.
recently?
Yeah. Do you have any what lizard? You're a lizard. Partially a lizard. That's what I'm getting from this. I've seen this in the lizard folk.
I'm a what?
You know the lizard folk,
Um,
right?
I know of dragons. I don't.
Oh. Well,
I don't
How about
know.
dungeons?
Is that like a type of dragon?
off
Good
to
one.
the east or north
Well
or
timed.
south or west, depending on where you are currently. There is a race of people known as the lizard folk. They're like kind of humanoid but lizards. I've
Great
seen this-
description.
Yeah. I don't really know too much about culture, but what I do know and what I have seen in my, studies in medicine and whatnot, I've seen their arms fall off and sort of regenerate. It's kind of like skin
Well-
molting in snakes.
I'll note it wasn't a situation where they fell off. It's where they were taken off.
Okay. Scratch that. Not falling off, but I have been known to see limbs from this race sort of regenerate. Go through the whole process of life. Baby arms grow, tiny child arms, adult arms. Then you can throw the pitch fast. T-ball to little league, the major leagues.
What?
Um,
He is lacking the more claw-like parts of the hand, though, that normal
It's true.
lizard folk would have. As a
Very
small note
strange.
for you.
But I do notice some sort of I do notice this scaly pattern here that it does seem indicative of reptilian, species. I've never seen any sort of because you seem very elvish. Clearly,
Yeah. I mean,
does your family have history of being scalies, going to conventions of certain types?
No,
first,
No.
first of all,
no,
I
no.
feel like the truth is out there.
first, First of all, fuck you. Second of all, like, we're role playing through this. I'm I'm not. I'm pretty sure. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not scaly. I'm not a dragon. I'm not a lizard. I'm me. And my parents were a human and an elf, and that's all they were. They weren't
Maybe
dragons either.
you're
That wouldn't
turning
make any
into a
sense.
kobold.
Tick's right. You might be turning
We
small.
could be brothers.
Where that's the worst case scenario. Just put it out there. More likely to get struck by lightning. But I mean, your other arm too. The same sort of effect is there. Is there anything else on your body that these scales that seem to appear?
No.
Anything
It's
else?
only ever been.
And
It's
anywhere
only
else?
Ever been the. Yo, it's only ever been on
Where
the
are the
left
scales,
arm.
Kinder? Show me the scales.
It's only ever been on the left arm.
Well,
Okay.
congratulations.
Experiment time. Put your leg on the table. Grab my axe. See if that regenerates too.
I have several questions.
You say
Fine.
that as you
Say
say
that.
that, the halfling man kind of comes back, kind of carrying a platter of ale mugs. Are you guys okay?
We're
Oh,
going through
waiter,
this.
now that
Give
you're
us a
here,
liquor.
do you have any rubbing alcohol? Might need that soon. Some sort of caustic material, to seal up, No? Darn.
Do you have regular alcohol?
French fries.
Dimitri?
Is that our ale there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just
that'll
take that.
that'll be fine.
Trust me, we're
Kind of
gonna
put
need.
it onto the table and slide it forward.
Oh,
Thank
thanks.
you.
What's your name, sir?
I don't want to say.
I don't want to say that's a wonderful name.
Is
You
it
should be
is
very
it
thankful
also
for your
Dimitri?
parents.
No, it's not. But I
Dimitri Jr.
kind of regret
you have
that you
been
know his name now.
fantastic.
Actually,
Well, Dimitri Jr., thank you for bringing our ale. We'll call you if we need anything else. Soup would be good, though.
he just kind of backs away.
Bread.
He doesn't really turn around. He just kind of backs away,
Hello,
Guys.
bread.
kind of
Just a
scuttles
crumb.
away.
Sorry, yes.
Guys,
Kinder, yes.
guys, we need to be careful. They're gonna think we're weird and kick us out of here.
It's not
I
the
think we
first
filled that
time
one
that's happened
already.
today.
Well, you're not kicked out yet.
I
Just
pass
that-
everybody their
Keep that fact.
mug of ale. I
I'm
give
gonna drink the mug of ale.
I give Tix his, which is the regular size, I assume.
Yeah, you noticed clearly what he wrote down. He didn't really care about sizes.
Does he have the plastic bendy straw that you can loop around?
No. He does,
What
but
kind
he
of
does actually.
rundown
You kind of
rinky-dink
can
is
tell.
flowers
Actually, hold on.
This.
1 second here. Let me see something.
This isn't the Bob Evans I remember.
Well, I guess it's enough. So yeah, he is he does kind of generally he's able to kind of lift it up. It's a little he picks it up when he lifts it. It feels like it is just little oh, it is not clean. As it starts strong on the intake, and then it just kind of starts to go.
All
kind
right,
of puts
buddy.
it down. As he puts it down, it's just like
Good kid. Okay, so is Kinder going to be okay, guys? Do we at least have that?
All of my studies point towards him being fine. Your arm will probably just regrow with the same sort of scale that you have on your other arm. Though just bizarre why this is happening. Never seen a case.
Don't know either. Kinder
Partially
originally
reptilian.
blamed you, but
Blame me? How could you blame me?
you're the one who does magic.
It's not my fault this time. Let's blame Marie for the fact that the hammer. I bet her plant caused some sort of curse on you.
Probably. That plant.
Did we take
Oh,
her plant?
hey.
I can't remember.
No, we failed every single
we
time.
failed.
Make
You're
me
right.
make me an intelligence roll there, Kinder.
Yeah.
Show us how intelligent you are.
I am so smart. Yeah, intelligence. That is gonna be a 15.
Wait.
You recall at the name of Maria a sight that you had seen before you ran away.
You saw her
slightly-
naked, dude.
Really?
Scaly leg.
Damn, bro.
That's what we're doing.
Wait, really? Was I
Recall this.
right?
What I remember that. What color were they? For the scales?
Hers seemed to be, I believe they were green.
Okay.
What color
Same
yours
color.
again?
Okay. Green.
That one dragon really got around.
So,
It's what we're
actually
trying to figure out
entirely
here,
happens
man. Kinder's quest to find the one dragon that really got around.
Oh, right. Hey, Gaius.
Yes, hello.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna reach into my bag, go around in it, realize, oh wait, I didn't put it here. Then I reach underneath my clothes and pull out the hat of wizardry, kind of like flop it out.
Okay.
Ah, yes. There you go.
We got this for you, man.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. What is the hat? What
Is
the hat?
antique cone-shaped hat adorned with gold crescent moons and stars.
Where do I?
You will have to, in your equipment, you can go to manage equipment. I want you to learn this, so I'm gonna have you do it.
Yeah.
You can go to manage equipment, and then
Add
just
items.
type in hat of wizardry, and then just add it.
Hat of wizardry.
Yep. We got that over at Madame
You can
Graffo's
use the
alchemist
hat.
shop.
Focus for your wizard spells. We try to cast a cantrip, you don't know it.
Yes.
Oh, so I can just try to cast something I don't know, and maybe it'll work.
Which is totally you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have to hit add to get that into your inventory.
Where did it go? Found it. Equipped. One charge.
Yes. So then. So what you will have to, so right now, you actually can't use it.
I have to attune to it, right? 'Cause
As
it's a wonder.
yeah. So as you kind of get it on, you kind of start to feel it almost kind of begin to your, like, it almost kind of seems to tap into your connection with the weave and kind of the arcane energies of the world.
Ooh, the weave.
I thought you said weave.
No.
The powers of the weaves.
But yes, so you kind of feel it start to kind of connect to your arcane energy.
Okay. Thank you so much for this, guys. Do I owe you anything?
No. Just your continued friendship and health advice, I guess.
Oh, okay. Suppose I can do that.
Mm-hmm. We also went out and bought a bunch of stuff, so this is really our part for you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, speaking of having things for other people, I have something for you guys when we're done. We were just doing before the interruption, which I can't remember.
a large plattering of like food is suddenly brought to your plate. Like, or to your table. Like, it almost just looks like it's just
spread.
the whole table, yeah, just massive spread. As you suddenly see Tix like climb up. I got food. As not the halfling anymore, it's actually this more this burlier woman. Enjoys the food. We keep eye on you.
Okay, well, thank you.
Wait, how much is this gonna ring us up?
I got it. It's okay. I got you.
What does that mean? Tix, are you drunk?
No, I just paid for food. He gave me a really weird look when I paid for it, but
How much did you pay?
a kobold creature put down platinum piece. He said all food money can buy. All food money can buy.
Okay.
Tix, you are now my blood brother. I will die for you. And I was like, indulge.
As you guys kind of so Kinder,
Yeah.
were you typically a righty or lefty?
Kinder writes with his right hand.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
He throws
so
baseballs with his left hand, but he writes with his right hand.
well so for eating, since that generally goes to your writing hand.
Eating's right-handed.
Yeah, this kind of suddenly is weirdly awkward. I mean,
I keep bumping elbows with guys.
I mean, you're not super unused to it because obviously, like, the idea is like you would have a fork in your left hand anyway if like you had something like a
Yeah.
steak, you know. But like, or if you're using like anything with a knife. But it's now that you have to constantly do it, it just feels a little weirder. What does that say?
It says, "You are beautiful." That's for all the people watching this.
Could
Thank
barely,
you.
I could barely read it. Right now. But yes, as you guys indulge,
Indulgence.
um,
The flight of the fool. That didn't mean anything. Those
No.
are just words.
As we're eating. So when should we? Anybody remember when we're supposed to leave for this mission?
couple days. I say this because I've had to just remind you now a number of times.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not immediate. It's just coming up. It's approaching.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what's there left to do?
Well, currently, since it's getting close to nighttime, Victor will note we should probably head home sooner. Hopefully, the parents were not expecting us for dinner.
That's what we need to talk about. We have our new friend here. I don't know how well the Tories would take to us bringing a kobold over.
I'm gonna look down at Tix. Tix, do you do magic?
What?
He's fine. Jet won't kill him immediately. He'll at least hear him out and then kill him. If that.
I'm not fully convinced, and even then, I know you said before that maybe over on our mission that might help to lead us to the location of his sister, but I can't help thinking that, you know, every second that we're not on the trail, something could be happening to her.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
The trail!
But
I reach into my bag and pull out the maps.
Ah, yes. So he pulls out these two maps. One will say Castle Moonblade 1F, as it seems to be a floor plan with some markings on it.
So, in
whoa.
my
Where did you get these?
I know people. Me and Bert, way back with Dewey Decimal.
Who's
Um,
Bert?
Anyways,
The bird.
I was able to get into the forbidden section of the library. I found a, sort of historical book about Moonglaive. Within it, I found these maps stitched between two pages. This floor clearly says Castle Moonglade 1F. I'm assuming this is the floor plan of the castle. First floor, to be specific. Incredible deductive powers at work. Only I could discover such a fact. This other map, I'm not really sure. They have drawings of these arches all across the continent, but I read some geographical books while I was there, and I couldn't find any mention of these arches. But there's a few scattered about. I'm not entirely sure what they be. Portals? I'm not sure.
You notice each of these arches have like an arrow drawing to the other ones.
Yeah. It's like some sort of movement
And
between
one
the two.
that goes actually off the page.
I wonder where that leads to.
I'm not making heads and tails of this one.
Not sure.
Maybe it's like a secret path or something.
That's what I was thinking. But I'm not sure. I couldn't find anyone. I couldn't find anything on my own. I'm not sure if we might just have to investigate these ourselves.
Yeah, you notice on the markings of the floor plan, none of you are able to like read the markings and the words that are on it.
Yeah?
Oh, hold on, let me see if I... Yeah, I don't. I thought about it. But, last couple things that happened.
Watch
Got the big...
Watch for the pitfall.
Was that...
Snake pit. You kind of see Tix like leaning over the table, looking at that page. It's kind of squinting.
Tix, you can read this?
Is this Kobold?
Huh?
It really says snake pit?
It's hard to put it together.
But you just read it though. You just said the words.
Yeah, but it's
Do it again.
That's in like the middle of the sentence.
Is there seemingly more to the rest of the sentence?
No, it's just not. Well, yeah, I'm just not reading the whole thing. Yeah.
If you read the whole thing, there will be so much food available. Could that help you focus?
Oh my god.
Can you imagine
No.
the steak,
Way.
the bread, the ale, and best of all, you'll get to join our. We will be best friends until the end of time. If you can read
Making
this
a lot of
sentence.
promises right now.
I know, right?
Just shut up, you one-armed man.
Here, let me. As he kind of starts crawling up on the table, just kind of like
One and
walks
eight
up to,
arms,
walks up onto right up, kind of up to the map, and just kind of sits on the table, picks up the paper. Okay, let's see. So, let's see. First goal, activate the transceiver node. I don't know what that means, but sure.
I also don't know what that means.
Start. Go from the main entrance into the atrium west wing. Follow the skeletons.
What?
Skeletons.
I'm reading it as best I can.
I know, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, man.
You're doing a great job.
Puzzle room 1131.
Is anyone writing this down?
No.
It's written here. It's right here.
In our language.
Well, I can read it.
Okay, that's true. Okay. That's part of our crew. Part of the gang. Us and ticks. Is that it? Is that all it says?
Well, there's a couple more stuff. All right. Puzzle room might be. Oh, I missed. Sorry, I skipped a section. Puzzle room might be guarded.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now this is actually me going back to something I did earlier.
Yeah.
Double checking something. And I now have to instead of remembering to make like an actual note of it, I actually just didn't I have to decipher my code. Let's see. So it's all right. So it actually says it's tally, so it's confusing, but it's actually 1, 3, 3, 3, 2,
3,
2.
2.
I don't know what that means.
1,
But
3,
yeah, then it says
3, 2, 2.
activate transceiver node. Enter portal.
What?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's everything. That's all it says.
Whoever wrote this, they must have been engaging in interdimensional travel or something.
I don't know. It just sounds
this
like
is
they
all way
walked into
beyond
this
anything.
Castle Moonblade.
Maybe this is where Vladimir gets his power from.
Who?
Potentially, yeah.
He's a bad guy, and he is currently in control of Castle Moonblade.
Ah, so it's his house. Then maybe
Yes.
he'll want this.
We shouldn't
Right,
give it
but-
to him. Definitely don't want to give this.
Well, wouldn't he know what his own house is like?
You see,
Why would it be bad if we gave this back to him?
Well, like I said, he's not a good guy. He's doing a lot of terrible things right now, actually.
he hurt our friends who are not your.
Ah. That doesn't mean he's a terrible person. I mean, my boss froze some of my old friends, but he wasn't really that bad of a guy.
Here, let's put it this way, Tix. If this guy were able to, control things or, have his way, you would never be able to eat again. He would take all the food away from you.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
Even boss at least fed us.
This man has no heart.
We just got froze if we touched his stuff.
What's
He'd always
up?
be like, "Stay away from my hoard." Yeah.
Was he Bo Jackson?
Who?
What?
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 Yes.
All right.
I don't know what I'm saying yes to. I just learned. When in doubt, say yes.
Okay. New plan. Let's keep this information for us and not share it with Vladimir if we ever see him again. But maybe we should show this to Jet.
Yes.
Yes, I feel like my father could have some insight on this.
Jesus, where did you come from, Vic?
Victor has been with you the entire time.
Sometimes I forget.
It's been sitting there.
He's been so sneaky. We didn't order you a beer. I'm so sorry. Here, have mine.
He in fact,
Nope.
you recall that when the ale was brought, there was definitely more than 4 brought to the table.
I'm still like mid freaking out, so yeah, this definitely escaped me.
Well, why don't we head back home then, and we'll ask Father about it.
All right.
That's a really good idea.
Anything else while you're here at the tavern?
I set the place on fire.
Yeah.
No.
I asked for a salt shaker.
Why?
Just
It's
a shaker of salt.
Listen, man, this guy lost his
Alright.
arm.
Sure, you get one.
And then I'm going to attempt to take it with me.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Yeah, Kinder.
Hey.
Getting arrested over salt. Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, well, I rolled the wrong dice, first of all, so let me just reroll
Proud of
that.
you. Did you
I,
do
roll,
the
I rolled my percentage dice again, because I'm just used to it now.
D12?
That's a natural 20.
Hey.
So I'll take that for the meme.
Well, you quickly, as you all kind of shamble out, you quickly just that salt into your pocket with your one good arm.
Yep. You never know when you need a shaker of salt.
Yes.
As you guys head out, it's fully become night at this point. As you begin to walk the streets, heading back to the Jet Estate, or the Tory Estate, I should say.
As we're walking back, I'm gonna be showing Gaius my copy of the Easy Guide to Mail, the children's book about like the city of mail and stuff.
Thank you. Wow.
It's pretty neat, right?
You
Even for
notice
like
the
like a children's
yeah, you
book,
notice
it's
Honestly, yeah.
You notice the alchemical factory is not noted on here, and it piques your interest. However, you,
curious.
based on your showings from the library, you were starting to believe that this was likely before that time.
Yes.
Alright, as you guys head back, you were kind of greeted by one of the I guess you could just call him one of the servants of the household. As you'll kind of go up to it, and you'll kind of go, oh. Sir, what happened to your arm?
Oh,
Do you require medical attention?
I think so, but I don't know if there's a spell or a potion that can fix this right away.
Shall I? Sir, shall I grab your mother? Yeah, sure. She probably would have a good idea about that. As he'll kind of run out run towards kind of more inside of the house. As you guys can, if you want, you can kind of follow him. You don't have to run with him, but you can just kind of follow him in.
I power walk.
All right. So you power walk in. Suddenly appearing in front of you is Emily Torrey.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry. What is this that I'm hearing about an arm?
so Aunt Emily, nice to see you. We went to a library, and then shortly afterwards, Kinder's arm fell off.
I mean, other things
This is
happen
Raid's
in
more
between
questions
that,
than
but that is
answers.
the gist of it.
He seems to be fine. He's just, well, take a look, and I indicate to Kinder.
I present the nubbed arm.
Well, she
The
she
smaller
does the
hand.
like pulling at the sleeve, realizing it's not there. Right, got it. Okay. As she put it. Huh.
Yeah, no, we saw that too.
Are you part lizard folk?
Ma'am, at this point, I'm not entirely sure anymore.
That's partly a trick question. They don't do that either. So,
Okay.
why? Do we know why?
No, we don't.
No,
Great.
no one really knows.
I think we need to see Mr. Tory as soon as possible.
He's not gonna have this answer. So unless it's related to something else, he's not gonna have the answer for this arm business. Thank you, Miles, for not ripping that cord out of its socket.
He's a
Yeah,
cat, that's what we have to
cat.
do.
But yeah, so yeah, unless it's unrelated. Well, yeah, he's not gonna have the answer. I'll tell you what. I'll do some research. I'll start doing a little bit of research. I could
That'd be awesome.
use the distraction.
What do you mean?
I mean, I've been doing research for a long time on many things. So I could use a break from it to try maybe to figure this out.
Oh, wow, that would be fantastic.
Can't say I'll come up with an answer right away. But you know, I'll get to you when I get to you. Maybe when you come back. Maybe I'll be able to find an answer. Hopefully.
Okay.
It's appreciated all the same. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, if I can, maybe I'll send. I'll try to get you. I'll try to send you a message when I get the. If I figure anything out, or if I get any leads.
Thanks, Aunt. Ah, yes, he's now the Bond villain he was meant to be.
Greetings.
Hello, Bond.
No, Mr. Kinder, I expect you to roll.
Goodbye, Bond.
Goodbye.
So yeah. Otherwise, is there something else that you would like to talk to Judd about?
There is actually. We had a few other things we need to ask him about.
Okay, they're
Is he
unrelated to the
currently-
arm, correct?
Not related to the arm, ma'am.
Okay, he maybe then we'll have an answer.
Yeah.
Is he currently awake? Is he?
Yeah, he's just at his study. You can
Yeah, let's go ask him
you
about
can
the
head
arches.
right in.
Arches. Which arches?
As
We shall head in.
I'll head in
You have to say you all are aware of the direction at this point. So as you start to head down, you get up to the study room. You notice this time the traps clearly is disabled.
Kinner, you can open it now.
As you're able to move right in.
I don't know. Tieflin's first.
All right. I open the door.
Grab this like raptor thing. Boys, what can I do you for?
Kinner's arm fell
questions?
off, but that's not important.
Yeah.
Let's- One
Time
thing
out.
at a time. I
Have you
think.
talked to Emily about that one?
Yes,
he did.
Did not ask.
Okay,
about
not my
that.
problem then.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm sorry, son. But that's out of my league.
All right. So something within your league. What would you have to say about?
The allegations. I'm sorry. I was
What
sorry.
about the allegations? Sir,
What would you have to say?
sir,
about
what do you
the
have to say about the allegations?
Sir. Sir.
He is unresponsive.
Sir.
Sir.
The Tabaxi has no answers. Alright, that bit's over.
Yeah. You try.
Give it a light 5.
Anywho. What is it?
The man. Yeah.
I mean, do you like lay down the papers?
Yeah. That's what I do.
Oh,
That is-
interesting.
Sad.
Interesting. I don't know what this is. He points at the paper with the little arches on it. This definitely is a floor plan of Castle Moonblade. I
Yes.
don't know if you're planning on going in there anytime soon, but I would recommend against that.
Are you familiar with Castle Moonblade? Have you
I'd
been
say
there before?
familiar is the proper term. Intimately familiar is not, but familiar, yes. Why do you have a floor plan of the first floor with
Oh,
some
yeah.
abyssal written on it?
Abyssal, that's what the language is.
Why can Tix speak Abyssal?
Yeah. that
Also-
is true.
Since clearly you seem to be opening up with your arm thing, I can maybe guess as to why the other two didn't ask this earlier. But what is that, as he seems to clearly gesture to Tix?
My blood brother.
Uh,
What did he do to you? What has he done to you? What did he do to you? You just like swatted him off my desk. Amiibo. Just like it's like the fourth time he's done that too. He did it 3 times off camera.
He's a King DDD main, and he's too much in character.
So yeah, no. He goes,
As a
"What is
DD
that?"
main, he's 100%.
This is Tix, my new blood brother. Honestly,
Hi.
better than the other two I have.
I can read the paper.
He can also read the paper.
Congratulations.
He's
Where
also
did you
helped us
find
out
him?
on the street.
And is he a spy?
He's
Tix, are you a spy? If you lie, your head will explode.
I used to be. That boss died.
He used to be. Then his boss died.
Yeah, real tragic. Some
Can we
noble
keep 'em?
came. I heard a lot of yelling. The boss started laughing, and then I heard a lot of screaming. He never came back. So I just kind of scooped up some of the horde and left with my sister. Then she fell in the bucket.
Wow. Amazing story.
I know. We live in crazy days. I miss my sister.
Millennials.
What?
You said crazy days. So I can't help but think about how the millennials in this society.
Fascinating.
I know.
Make sure he doesn't.
Almost as fascinating
Make sure
as
he
your
doesn't
story.
take anything from the house. I'll know. I'll know if you take anything.
He wouldn't take anything aside from food, maybe.
Yeah, I'll know if you take anything.
Listen to antics. Well, I'll know too. So tell me.
Anyway,
Anyway, map. The other map. What about the arches?
I don't know. I've never seen these things before.
Well, somehow
Does-
you are. Do you know anyone
does it-
who would know?
Does the transceiver sound familiar
I
to you? at all?
can't tell you. I mean, this looks like a weird network system. I mean, if like the best guess I can give you is that this is some type of like underdark tunnel path.
Underdark tunnel path.
Do you know where
That's
we
the
could
best
go?
I could give you, but I don't know.
Tunnel path.
There's no labels on this. It's literally just these weird arches. As far as I know, this guy could have just gone crazy and started trying to draw birds, but only drew half of the bird. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like the bird.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
almost
yeah.
like an M. So how if
course,
I know
yeah.
what the hell these are supposed to be?
Drawn
Ones for
before.
scale, yeah. Do you know anyone who might be able to? You know, might have a greater depth of their knowledge than you.
First of all, watch mouth. Second of all,
My eyes are here.
I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, unless there's somebody out there that knows about some type of secret tunnel system, either in the Underdark or in Fades. You know, I've got some good connections in Fades. I've had nobody talk to me about some type of weird arches or tunnel systems anywhere. So I don't. This either doesn't exist anymore or somebody drew it. So then you'd have to talk to you'd have to figure out who made these.
Sir, what exactly is the Underdark?
That's where the drow live. It's far underground. It might as well almost be its own dimension at that point, really. I wouldn't go there. I heard your last job was in Luna. You're pretty close to an entryway of one of them.
Oh. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. That's the thing. Is there are two Underdark passages. There are two known Underdark passages in Thades, and they're not marked the way this map has these arches marked. So, again, hell if I would know what these are.
I wonder if the other guild knows about those passages.
Potentially.
I mean, in terms of if you want to know more about the Underdark itself, sure, but again, there's no guarantee that this has to do with the Underdark, and I wouldn't recommend going down there, at least not anytime soon, because there's still a little green for that.
Yeah, it's true. We are kind of piling up things. to do
You
right
more
now. We need to
literally
be
than I would like
focused.
at this point.
Yeah, it's a pun because I have green scales. I got it. Thanks.
Should figure that one out.
You know?
I don't need you bringing any curses into my house.
I'm like 90. I'm like 75% sure it's not a curse.
I'm glad that dropped. All right. Well, in terms of what I can tell you about this, though, I do have some information about this castle, I guess, if you are interested.
Okay, I would love some
So-
information.
I've been getting a little bit of intel from people that have actually gone into the city of Moonblade itself. who have actually there are a number of strange things happening over there. First of all, there's an influx of, or like this like newer like kind of creature has started to show up. It almost seems like either devils are making deals with the gnomes of that area, or there's some, non-judgmental relationships, mind you, but relationships happening with the gnomes. But essentially there have been really small looking like tieflings showing up in the area. Essentially think of like a tiefling that's like a gnome.
Really?
Yeah,
That's curious.
yeah, they're really only on that side of that continent there. But otherwise, I think it's part of it is because of the increased. There's a lot more in the capital there. There's a lot more undead and devilish activity that ends up happening there. So, how those people continue to live there, I don't know. But otherwise, the main thing I've kind of gotten through the grapevine is apparently whoever is running that castle, they seem to be it seems like almost they've like created a series of trials in this castle. So he's been having a number of adventure groups test their mettle by going in. But they're not. What's weird is they're not necessarily always. They don't all seem to necessarily be the most experienced. Like there are more experienced ones that go in, but I've seen ones that go in that aren't super experienced either. But what's weird is some of them have come out. Granted, not all intact. But that's where I've gotten some of this information from. Is actually a couple of the adventurers had escaped. Granted, they quit being adventurers at this point. But I was able to get some information there because they just kind of set up a life there in the capital. So apparently, like, it wasn't my main source of info. He apparently didn't necessarily, like, they weren't the highest tier of adventurers when they went in. But then, and they were good for a period of time, and then suddenly they just got swamped by something. So it almost just seems like things catch you off guard when you're in there.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what the dude that started that country, but man, he is some weird type of sociopath.
Don't we know it? Well, all right.
So yeah,
All right.
I would probably just steer clear of that. I don't know if it's one of those things where if you go in, you can't come out or not. I don't know what his rules are. I don't know what he's also put in there. So, I mean, I've heard it's a lot of undead from the guy that came out, but I guess he can come out one way or another. He just decided he wasn't going back in.
That's fair. I guess you're right. All right.
So I guess if you're planning on going through the first, if you're planning on hitting this first floor at least, you got something, I guess.
Cool.
I wouldn't recommend it, but I guess you don't have to be the most experienced to at least step foot at the first floor. I think he said his group got like halfway through, and then that's when most of them got, at least what he believes to be halfway through. I think he said he went through like, it was weird. He called them 12 stages. I don't know what that means.
12 stages.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Hmm.
But either way, he said he went. So he's like, he feels like they're about halfway. That I can't speak to the validity of, but you know, I guess if you're able to go out, if you're, you know, I guess when you guys are finally out of your trial stages, you, I guess if you want to take a crack at that first level, you got a map here.
Yeah. That'll come.
As long as one of you can read Abyssal.
We have good old ticks here.
Yep.
Great, it reads the demon tongue. That makes me feel much better about him in my house.
I mean, I'm technically double and
Devil different than demons, my friend, my young
Wait,
friend.
what? It was Abyssal, you said?
Yeah,
So I read it in for.
Inferno. Yeah.
yep, I read Inferno too.
I'm also.
Yeah. No, Abyssal, if you're unaware, is more spoken a lot by things like a lot of greater undead creatures, demons from the Shadowfell. That was more going into Abyssal realm. Infernal is more of that pure like hell level. Where that's where a lot of the devil background comes from.
Very cool.
Still, nonetheless, you know, you got another free day again tomorrow. Try not to lose a limb. Another one, at least. And if anything, maybe take an easy day. You know, maybe stay on the estate for tomorrow, right?
You can do that.
Maybe take a break.
The estate of it.
And that's
You just stay.
where we will end the session for today.
Yeah.
Hey,
As you guys will
Probably
get
good we do that
to the
before I lose
evening.
it.
Tomorrow, if you wish, you can essentially between now and the next session, you can decide what you would want to do the next day with a day of downtime. You can choose to apply it to whatever you want, or go do other things like go look at shops and whatnot. Essentially, you can you can tell me between the episodes what you plan to do on your off day. If it is just
Gotcha.
work on blank, like work on feat or skill that you've been doing, just tell me that and just add the day. Otherwise, if you plan to do any other things like going into town or go shopping or whatever, then we'll do that outside the session.
Cool.
sounds good.
And then we will see you all again next week.
Time.
Wait.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Actually, hold on, time it.
Oh.
I have to check the calendar. You will not see us next week.
Okay.
Oh, really?
No.
Giga gasp.
Oh, go.
So you will not see us next week.
Aren't you in like Detroit or something?
No, I will not be.
Okay. I didn't know Nick's.
In fact, we're gonna have 2 weeks off.
Oh.
So we're gonna have
2
technically 2 weeks off, but the second week is because, and this is partly a reminder too, is that second week we are going to be off is because the next day is Extra Life.
Yes.
Where we will be having our charity live stream for 12 hours on Saturday, November 2nd. So November
Hey,
1st,
we just do
we
AL
won't
from
be
that
having
one.
an episode of this. We will be having our Extra Life live stream. So make sure you remember to tune in for that. Otherwise, so essentially this show will be off for 2 weeks. So we will mainly just be running in the next 2 weeks. We will just have Embers by Daybreak on Tuesdays. So at least then, definitely make sure you check out those. And you can check out our YouTube channel down in below. Otherwise, see you guys later.
All right.
Bye.